right, it's 9:30, February the 27th, Wednesday morning. We'll bring the special session Somervell County Commissioners Court to order. Let the record show Larry Halsey, Dwayne Johnson, Danny Chambers, Kenneth Wood, and Wade Bush are all present. Item number one is a presentation by Hood County Chaplain Doug Pruitt regarding the Sheriff's Office creating an Explorer post.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Sheriff's Office, this is one goal of mine to bring this for the youth of Somervell County, to have it's like a Boy Scout post, but it's going to be more build within and let them know about law enforcement. And so I'd like to introduce to y'all Doug Chaplin. He's 7 years with Hood County Sheriff's Office and Fire Marshal's Office. He's a director of Texas State Chaplains. He's got a 501(c) business that helps run this. And so currently he's assisting with Hood County and Erath County's Explorer post. So with that being said, this is Doug Pruitt.
Good morning. I guess I'm here to answer any questions about what the Explorer post is for. I'll give you a brief outline. Now, that little flyer there we use in recruitment for Hood County. We have one that we've developed for Erath County, and we'll develop one for here if we get approval. It's a career development path for young people going into criminal justice and or law enforcement. We run our post weekly. Erath County runs theirs bi-weekly. This is something that we come to the local counties and present something that is a little different than most Explorer posts or all Explorer posts. Is our foundation runs this. I will not come to you for a nickel unless you personally want to give, but the county doesn't involve this. Our 501 does all the fundraising, we do all the bill paying, and we run the program with commissioned officers that will be doing the bi-weekly training with the young people. There's different events that we do, and ultimately you can do some competitions. The young people can compete around North Texas and across the country, actually internationally if you wanted to. It's a pretty simplistic process. The post itself is on paperwork will be owned by the Sheriff's Office. We just administrate that side of it to free them and to free y'all's the pocketbook. The opportunity for the young people is it's a recruiting process. You have a young person that gets involved in law enforcement explorers. They decide to go into law enforcement. They go to academy, and they usually will come back to the community that they grew up in and serve in this community. So without it being a recruitment department for the local sheriff's office and other agencies, it becomes that pretty quickly. Some of the larger Explorer posts are actually financed by the agencies that run them as part of their recruitment department. Fort Worth PD is one of them. So, any questions?
And Alan, I guess if you decide to move forward with this, do we need to put it on the 11th agenda to approve, or you're elected in this? I know you want to do it.
That's kind of why I was here this morning, kind of get the blessing of y'all, because I mean it will have Somervell County tied to it. So my thought is y'all need to be in on this, even though it's not going to cost the county, the taxpayers. For us, it's just another process to get these kids in the right direction. And I've watched it through the fire station for several years, and we've got several of those explorers that are now, whether paid, paid members in the big cities or have came back here. So with retention to getting people for the jobs like here, this may be the direction that we go.
Another thing real quick I forgot to mention is the insurance. So the Boy Scouts of America has a subsidiary called Learning for Life. That's the one that we work under. So there's a fee that we'll pay that takes care of insurance. So that doesn't even fall under the insurance of the county. It falls under the Learning for Life corporation.
Okay. Well, I can have it on the agenda for the 11th if you want us to discuss and approve it, if you'd like to have their approval. Do y'all have any questions for this gentleman?
Yeah, what would we approve?
I guess allowing, is that what you're looking for, Alan? Would you like the court to approve you to do this?
I brought it.
I know you wanted to inform us, which is great. Yeah.
This is presentation.
My original email to her was discuss, take action on having this, so I apologize if it didn't
get
listed that way.
That's cool.
I would like y'all's approval, just because it is, under the county as a whole, but it's not as in the insurance and monetary side. So
all right.
it'd just be nice to,
know that the court approved it, stand behind
You
you?
know, I'm not doing something that y'all aren't on the same page with.
Okay.
Have you had any interest in this? I'm sure you have.
This is something that's been on the back of my mind when I even was doing it at the fire station as a volunteer to bring this. Long story short, within this first 4 years, I'd like to do this and do a community citizen police academy. That's some of the stuff that we're trying to bring to the table. Now, all those take man hours and manpower, but this is one of those steps to give back to the community and start with the youth. I think is very important.
I think to answer your question from my side is that we do the recruiting to the high schools and the private schools and even homeschool groups, and we'll stir up that interest. I believe there's 2 young people right now that's involved in the criminal justice program at the high school that have already shown interest in this direction without even knowledge of an Explorer post even being thought about. So in my eyes, I'm looking at 2 command staff now as young people. And you probably all know you get 1 or 2 involved and they start talking about the fun stuff and the hands-on things. And next thing you know that you got a bunch of kids that are interested.
All right. I'll have it on the 11th.
Appreciate your time.
If you don't mind,
thank you, sir.
No problem. I want to give you all a card. It's got my contact information. If you do have a question,
You bet.
You can email or text me one way or the other. We seem to always be around, and would love to hear any questions or comments. And even if you have something that's negative, I'd like to hear about it so we can figure out what that could
Try to fix
all this. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. All right. Item number 2, discuss, take action, and approve the 2018 bail bond fee report. I believe that's back to Melanie and Alan. And Alan.
All right, what we have is the 2018 bail bond fee report, and last year we took in $2,295 that was submitted to the treasurer's office, which is $15 per bond every time someone bonds out. The main money goes through bonds as our main bail bonds person, but we also do have a few others that were approved.
Any questions on the
It's
bail
just
bond
an annual
fee
report we have to provide back to y'all.
So what was collected
Well.
and submitted.
Do I have a motion to receive and accept?
I'll make a motion.
I have a motion by Kenneth to approve the bail bond fee report. Do I have a second? I have a second by Dwayne. Any further questions for Melanie or Alan? All in favor said motion. That's 5 for, 0 against. Item number 3 is back to both of y'all. Discuss, take action on the 2018 annual racial profiling report.
All right, this is what's submitted to the state for 2018, and we've attached a copy of our policy procedure for racial profiling and our policy procedure for in-car audio video equipment and the stats for the year. And it looks like we had, I believe 525 total citations. That includes verbal citations, warnings, and then written tickets giving out. And Alan, do you have anything else on that?
No, this is
We have the
an
stats
annual-
attached. It's the annual report that we submit to the state every year.
And I know Larry and Kenneth have seen it, and Dwayne and Wade
Yes.
will see it from every year it comes through this time of year. I believe it's for like March the 1st, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Each year.
Yes. And it has been submitted for the year, so we are good to go.
Do I have a motion to accept and approve the annual racial profiling report?
I make a motion.
I have a motion by Kenneth. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any further questions or discussion from Melanie or Alan? All in favor said motion. 5 for, 0 against. Melanie, Alan might have mentioned you
Yes.
got salary report March 1st.
It is
I know
March
we got
1st.
a couple more days, but I'm just checking.
Yeah, I'll have it to you this
I know you got
afternoon.
the stamp.
I know, right? No, I'll have it to you this afternoon, and we should be good to go.
Great. And then I'll
I know it
follow
went down a couple times, so I do have the attached
Great.
times it went down. So
Thank
good
you.
to go. All right, thank you.
And Alan, if you want me to text you when we get to executive session,
We'll wait and see what's going on there.
Okay.
I'll just be at the other end when you get deep.
yeah, I'll text you right before we go in, and we'll take care of yours first, so you can go back and testify.
That's fine.
Thank you all. All right, item number 4, approve advertising for RFPs for bank depository. I believe this is Susie's presentation.
Yes, we are going to go out, put our ads out in the paper to advertise for a request for proposal for our banking business. I am still in contact with Paul Cooper at First Financial, who's where we have our banking business at now. and he's given me some more numbers, but what they first came up with was not close to what we currently have with them, so we need to go out.
Dollar-wise?
Right, our current depository bid, like all of our other bids, has an option to renew, so for another 3 years. However, Mr. Cooper came in with major modifications at great expense to the taxpayer. So, we have allowed minor modifications with the renewal, but this was changing it from white to black. This was.
What's the dollar amount from the old to what he proposed?
He was wanting to establish rate caps on the interest rate he pays us. He was wanting us to pay a $500 a month service fee, which we've never paid before.
Yeah.
It was just.
And right now, we don't pay for any of our check stock or stock payment fees that we have to do.
So it just sounds like First Financial just doesn't want our business, is what it really going to sound like.
And I'm going to take a RFP proposal worksheet around to the other two banks.
Well, that's
as
what's
well.
Are we trying to stay here and?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, government code says we have to use a depository within the county.
Okay.
So we have to, now that gives us some opportunity. I will tell you, in Susan's discussion with Hood County, they worked with a bank officer at First Financial out of the Granbury office that was much more receptive to the county's business. And so I told her, that's fine, we can still qualify First Financial as in the county.
That's why I was.
Switch officers, take it off the Doyle's desk. And,
Okay. That's why I was getting.
so, yeah.
So we'll pursue all that.
And when do we need to receive them back by?
When does it currently go out?
I think it's the end of April is when our contract is over, so I think the court in April is when we have to have them in by the, I think they did them 4 years ago, they did it, the deadline was 9 o'clock that Monday morning, and then they open them in court at 9:30. So we can either do that, have them in by 9, or we can have them in by 5 o'clock the Friday before. We've done that as well.
You don't have time to advertise for the March meeting.
And it looks like April 8th would be Monday Commissioners Court regular session.
Guys, and we have multiple meetings too, so we
That's
can
true.
have the one when we're doing the one at the end of March,
Yes.
or near the March 15th payroll. We've got options there, but yeah, we can have it back by the end of March, and then
That's strictly up to
award,
y'all.
and then award in April.
If y'all, that's strictly up to y'all.
Yeah.
Because I figured in the RFP you wanted to list what day you want them back at what time.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, because let's see here. Yeah, March 29th is a Friday, which we'll have a meeting. We'll probably have a meeting on 28th to approve payroll, won't we? Because the 30th and 31st will be on Saturday and Sunday. So you'll do payroll on the 29th, so it means we'd have a meeting on the 28th of March.
And we could do that. We could open them then, and then award them at the April meeting.
Okay. Well, do I have a motion to go out for RFPs due back by Thursday, March 28th at 9 a.m.? Is that correct?
9:30.
9:30 a.m.?
Have them back at
By
9.
9. And open them at 9:30.
Okay.
Yes.
I have a motion by Larry to go out for RFPs for a depository. Be back on March 28th by 9 a.m. and we'll open them at 9:30 a.m. Is that correct? I have a second by Kenneth. Any further questions or discussion? All in favor of said motion? That's 5 for, 0 against.
And if in the meantime, First Financial sees the error of their ways, and would rather to just renew, we can withhold this going out.
Right.
Absolutely.
Current contract does allow for renewal, so we'll keep you apprised.
Well, you gotta ask, Did you push that down there for clerk's office? All right. Item number 5, discuss take action on authorization to pay payroll and associated expenses for the 2/28/2019 pay date. And we've seen that go past us.
I make a motion to approve the
payroll and associated expenses for 2/28/19 pay date.
I have a motion by Kenneth.
Second.
I have a second by Larry. Any further questions or discussion for Susie? All in favor said motion. That's 5 for, 0 against. Item number 6, approved budget transfers.
I set these on your desk. These are just some small ones. We had to do some moving around some money. We did not budget enough for some bonds. We had some additional folks bonded in the treasurer's office and also the tax assessor's office with the change of personnel there. And then you can see the others just staying within their department, moving some money around there.
I make a motion to approve the budget transfers.
I have a motion by Kenneth. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by Dwayne. Any further questions or discussion for Brian? All in favor said motion. That's 5 for, 0 against. Item number 7, approved county bills.
Again, I laid that report. County bills totaled $19,516.56. Just one item really of note, and that is to Estes Communications, $1,280 related to the tower repair from that lightning strike. That is with a insurance claim with that. So we will be reimbursed less our deductible on that, but we will be.
I'm surprised they didn't subpoena your records for that court, that lightning strike.
I make a motion to pay our bills.
I'm sorry.
On these county, on the bills. Any way we can get these utility bills to department heads?
Certainly, they can go out to them.
Yeah,
I mean, if they're clearly identified for department,
I'm talking about water, electrical, stuff like that, so they can see. So maybe if we have a problem, they see it, know it's not right, and maybe we can correct it a little bit faster.
Yeah, I mean, like what I was saying, for those departments that are easy to identify, I mean, like
Sure.
this building.
Yes,
Sure.
yes,
I
yes.
mean,
Well, yeah, it won't be every department.
right.
Just
But
certain
sure.
ones.
Library, we can send them out, and you know, those
Expo, the,
senior citizen center.
yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, I have a motion by Kenneth to pay our bills. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by Larry. Any further questions or discussion for Brian? All in favor of the motion? That's 5 for, 0 against. Item number 8. At this time, we'll retire into executive session at 9:48. And for the first go around, I need Paula, Andy, and Brian for the first one. I'll text Alan. All right, it's 11:25, February 27th. We're going to reconvene into regular session of Commissioners Court. And there is action to be taken on executive session. Do I have a motion for the expo to go out for advertising for an event tech? Is that correct? I have a motion by Larry.
Second.
Second by Kenneth. Do we have any questions or discussion?
Bell bonds.
Event tech, yes. All in favor said motion. That's 5 for, 0 against. Also, correct me if I'm wrong, at the same time, we will go out and advertise for a maintenance tech 1. Is that correct? I have a motion by Larry to advertise for a position maintenance tech 1. Do I have a second?
Second.
Yes.
Have a second. Any further questions or discussion?
Is this for the expo too?
No. Just for maintenance department.
Okay.
All in favor of said motion? That's 5 for, 0 against. Larry made the motion and Dwayne seconded it. To advertise for a maintenance tech 1.
Are we done?
Do I have another
I
motion?
make a motion we adjourn this meeting.
I have a motion by Kenneth. Do I have a second? Do I have a second to adjourn? He thought I was going to have to for a minute. I have a second by Dwayne. All in favor? 5-0 against. Kenneth, I thought I was going to leave you hanging there for a minute.
You're the only one that wants to leave, apparently.
You just adjourn and walk out, right?
I'm done.
I make a motion, Dave. It's up to them then to get it done.
You turn it off, Sonia?
Thank you.